everyone. Oh, I think I'm live now. Yep, looks good. Hi everyone. Welcome to the midday session here on our Facebook Live page at Riverflow Yoga. The session is called The Blissful Warrior. I'm Rhonda Uretsky. I'm the owner of Riverflow Yoga. We are a hot yoga studio located in Lambertville, New Jersey. And while our physical front doors have been closed since March, in compliance with New Jersey state mandate, our virtual doors are wide open. We are coming to you here on Facebook Live every day since that closure in March. So that makes about 100 days that we've been bringing you yoga right here on our Facebook Live page. That's me and all of the wonderful teachers at Riverflow Yoga who are offering hot yoga, yoga nidra, and this practice called Blissful Warrior. This is a practice that I have put together, that I've curated actually over my 45 years of practicing and teaching various forms of Hatha yoga. Hatha yoga is the yoga that involves body movements, the yoga that we're all familiar with when we talk about or think about yoga. We think of it as the sort of physical exercise part of yoga, which can be very, very beautiful. I've also been a mindfulness practitioner and a meditation teacher and a spiritual seeker. And so I have put together a variety of all my favorite different kinds of practices that I think can bring all of us the soothing that we are looking for in these very interesting times that we are living in. You know, one of the things that I think we've all begun to realize in these times that change so rapidly is that there are no answers out there. We would certainly love for somebody to give us the answers, the right way to treat or combat this virus, the solution to racial injustice, the immediate way to go about changing the things that we want to change. And maybe if there was a set of rules and regulations to follow, and we can all follow the same rules and regulations, then we feel that maybe we would have some collective progress that we're making. But one of the things that occurs to me, which I think is very interesting, is that what we really want more than anything is freedom and respect for diversity. I think if we all look into our hearts, we would say that those two things are very dear to us. To be free to make our own choices and to have a place of diversity where other people are also respected for their choices. And so maybe it's a bit of a paradox for us to think that there is one set of rules that everyone can follow, one guideline list that if we all followed, we'd all be happier. We are out here experiencing diversity in forms that we never thought we would experience. There's diversity on just about everything going on outside of us right now, from how to treat this virus, how to stay safe, how to keep ourselves and our families safe. There's always been lots of diversity and rules about things like diet and exercise, how to be healthy, what's the best way to keep ourselves and our families healthy, what's good for you, what's not good for you. And we have a habit, I think, as human beings, of wanting there to be somebody to tell us the right way to do things. The rules that if we only followed these rules, we'd be happier, healthier, thinner, more vital, more productive, more successful, more of a contributor. We tend to, when we find those rules or guidelines that work for us, to then think that if only everybody followed these rules, if we could all only get together and get behind this one set of guidelines, we could be a real collective force of nature. And yet, the paradox is that what we want, I think, more than anything, is personal freedom and diversity. So maybe there are no one set of rules for everyone. But I believe that what we all do have is inner guidance. We have this ability to know, if we get quiet enough to listen, what is going to be I don't even love the words right or wrong, but what is going to resonate for you in this moment. And those three words, in this moment, are very important to consider, because what works for you today might be different than what fits for you tomorrow. We live in the present moment. We can't project ourselves into the future and know how we are going to feel in the future. Oh, we can plan, and we try to do it all the time. And for those of us of a certain age, maybe you've had enough experience with planning for the future to know that all of those plans and all of those ideas about the way your life is going to go can go up in a flash. And it's not always a bad thing. And certainly even the young people today, anyone who's alive today on the planet in the midst of this pandemic, is experiencing this right now. That what you were told yesterday might not be true today. And I think the fact is that's always been the case. That things that were true yesterday live in yesterday. And when you arrive in the present moment, it's your, not responsibility, too harsh a word, it's your privilege to be here in this present moment and check in with yourself and look around and see what resonates for you right now. What makes you feel alive in this moment? What things resonate as things that feel soothing or enlivening to you, whichever direction you want to go in right now. Because certainly there are times in your life when you don't want to get up and go. You do want to sit on the couch and soothe yourself. And if that's what's calling to you in this moment, then maybe there's a way that you can trust that that's actually what will be best for you in this moment. Without beating yourself up for sitting on the couch and watching TV. I'm going to plug in my phone here as we're speaking. Without feeling guilty or feeling like you should be doing more. I know you've heard this before. We're not human doings, we're human beings. We are here to be in this present moment and see what feels right for you right now. So maybe we can, in this hour that we are together here every day, practice being what I call a blissful warrior. If you are going to be adamant about anything, let it be about your freedom to be blissful in this moment, to explore what makes you feel like yourself in this moment. So whatever you are feeling right now, whatever emotional state you're in, whatever mood you're in, whatever you encountered this morning that has contributed to the way you feel right now, just take a moment to arrive here in this present moment, accepting that you are who you are feeling what you are feeling, and it's perfectly fine. Here in this blissful warrior practice, you are not here to change anything about yourself. To have the intention to change something, to fix something, even to transform something, such a beautiful word, transforming. But somehow underneath those words is the belief or the feeling that you are not okay as you are right now, that there's something about you that needs to be fixed. Now you could wish to have things be different about yourself, but I still believe that it begins with accepting yourself as you are right now, and not just accepting as if, well, this is the best I can do in this moment, but really appreciating that where you are right now is the exact right place you are meant to be. Meant not by fate, but by your own life. Everything that you did and thought and felt and experienced up to this moment has brought you right here, right now, with an opportunity for you to enjoy where you are right now. And if you would like to use this right now moment as a jumping off point, beginning by saying that this is where I'm going to have my little foundation and jump off from there, then that's fine. But I really would love it if in these blissful warrior moments you could actually accept that not only I am where I am, but that where I am is just right. And maybe I don't see the bigger picture of that right now, but I still can believe it. And in the belief that you are fine just as you are right now, there is a great sense of soothing and calmness and appreciation that comes forth. And from that place of self-appreciation that starts with self-soothing, so many things in your life can begin to unfold. I don't want to use the word change or even transform. It's just an old way of thinking about yourself, that there's something wrong with you, something wrong with your weight or your age, or your body in some way should be more flexible, or wishing it could be the way it used to be. There's all of this yearning for things to be different that comes from a place of not appreciating where you are right now. So yes, it can be challenging to appreciate depression or despair or hopelessness or any of those emotional states that don't actually feel pleasant. And yet, wherever you are right now has a good purpose for you, has a good, I don't even want to use the word reason. There's so many words I'm trying to not use because they just don't quite fit anymore, in the way that I think about things and the way that I'm experiencing my life. The idea of reasoning things out just doesn't feel as powerful anymore as feeling them and noticing that this is the way I feel. So however you feel right now, let's just say that it's appropriate for you. And it's not important for anyone else to understand the way you feel. It's certainly not important for you to explain it to anyone else. And you don't need validation from anyone else, because you know how you feel in this moment. And that's all you need. So let's arrive right here, right now, in this present moment, taking on this blissful warrior attitude. I am where I am. I recognize what I feel. If you'd like to even give it let's say a number from 1 to 10, you want to check in on yourself to arrive here in this present moment, feeling what you feel. If, let's say, there was a scale, right? And 1 on the scale was very, very calm, really soothed, relaxed, and 10 was very spun out. Maybe you had some encounter this morning that really upset you and you're just feeling very shaky or spun out. That would be number 10. So just take a moment to check in and acknowledge where you are right now. I think I'm a 4. I'm going to give myself a 4. Yeah. And the first number that comes to your mind as I describe these emotional scales is the one you're going to stick with. Try not to let your mind talk you out of whatever number has come up for you. You don't have to prove anything or think it through or validate it. You are where you are. There's so much calm acceptance and appreciation and self-empowerment from that little statement, I am where I am. It really does seem to encompass this entire thought group that there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with where you are. There's nothing wrong with what you feel. There's nothing inappropriate about you. For whatever reason, whatever brought you to this moment right now, the truth is, I am where I am. And if you can unhook from all of the stories about why you should be different and just put those aside and arrive in this moment, I am where I am, you're going to find a wellspring of relief. And in that moment of relief, you begin your soothing. I'm going to try to avoid words like healing, and I hope you'll all catch me if I say it, put it in the comments that, I just let it slip in. Because even the word healing puts you in mind of something being wrong with you. And granted, maybe you have some chronic condition, some unpleasant diagnosis that you're living with, some real symptoms that you can feel. All of those things can be true, and it can also be true that you are where you are right now, and you're going to arrive right here with what you have and who you are, and begin from here. And begin what? Begin to change? Begin to fix? No. Begin to reappreciate who you are in this moment. So, welcome to the Blissful Warrior midday session. Find a nice, comforting place for you to rest your body as you arrive here with me, sitting on the ground. And I'm going to continually offer you lots of little tips, lots of little tricks and tips that I have gleaned from my 45 years of hatha yoga practice on things that help my body to align and feel enlivened and relaxed. You get to try them on. I am not going to become that list of the right way to do yoga, right? Those guidelines, those regulations. Despite having practiced for all these years, I am not the authority on how you feel in the present moment. You are. I'm going to just throw out some ideas of things that you might want to try on and experience while you're here in the present moment, soothing and comforting yourself. So if you're sitting on the ground, if you'd like to sit cross-legged, grab a pillow, some kind of a cushion, put it under your butt and sit forward of the cushion so that your hips are tilted downward. You might feel this sense of relaxing in the hip flexors, and let your arms rest comfortably on your knees, palms up or palms down. If you'd prefer to sit in a chair, and how do you know what you prefer? You go with what calls to you. If when I say sit in a chair, you feel drawn to that feels like something you want to do, go ahead and do it. I am not going to be that person who pushes you out of your comfort zone. I think there's a great deal of soothing and self-acceptance in that comfort zone that you deserve. And if you don't like to be in the comfort zone all the time, that's fine. Right here in the Blissful Warrior, you're going to practice it and you're going to see how it feels. So, sitting on a chair, if that's your comfortable arrival place, go ahead and do that. I'm going to suggest, as I always do, that if you are sitting in a chair, you place both feet on the ground, allowing the soles of your feet to make contact with the ground, shoes on or shoes off. It will help settle your nervous system. This is just a physiological observation that if the soles of your feet are on the ground, your nervous system, which can be in chaos if you are feeling, chaotic, internally chaotic, placing the feet on the ground will help to settle your nervous system, just like placing a snow globe on a flat surface will tend to make all those little fibers that are flying around in there settle down again. And as you place your feet on the ground, you can even imagine that that's what's happening in your nervous system. And if you'd prefer to lie down on the ground, go ahead, lie on your back. That's my recommendation. Arms at your sides, keeping your arms far from your body with your palms facing up. Allow your heels to just touch lightly towards each other. Make very light contact and let your toes flop out to the sides as if they're almost going to touch the side walls, not pulling, just allowing. Tuck your chin a little bit. And as we move into the next arrival practice of breathing, you can choose to have your eyes open or your eyes closed. It's beautiful to take this moment in the middle of your day to replace yourself in the present moment physically, and then to breathe yourself back into being right here and right now. And if you chose that number from 1 to 10, remembering what that number was, and I say was because it's about to move into another state as you take these deep breaths. I want you to have a real healthy appreciation for your own ability to soothe yourself with breath. So, I'm sitting on a cushion. I'm going to keep my hands actually in my lap. This feels soothing to me today. Palms facing up and thumbs touching. Remember, as I offer you these suggestions, take them as suggestions. Let's get used to this idea that there is no authority outside of you that knows best what works for you in this moment. Even you can't plan what's going to work for you in a future moment, but you can, and you are fully equipped to arrive in the present moment and to check on what feels like soothing to you right now. And in this way, in reconnecting with your own sense of being soothed, you reconnect with your self-empowerment. And here's a little promise that I'm going to make to you. As you regain your own sense of self-empowerment, you will no longer feel the need to control others. Not what they think, not what they do. You will begin to actually recognize that everyone is making their contribution in their own way, and each person's contribution is valid. So, if you choose to join groups, like-minded groups, you will do it from a place of your own sense of what works for you. You might stop having the need to change everybody's mind so that they agree with what you think is appropriate for you in this moment. And you might even begin to see the real beauty of diversity. So, all that from breathing. That's a big promise from breathing, and it's a promise you are about to fulfill for yourself. So we're going to be breathing nice and deep, in and out through the nose, and hearing the breath pass through the back of your throat. So you're going to make this big ha sound as you breathe in and out. Sounds like Darth Vader breathing. So sitting up straight or lying down on the ground on your back, let your chin drop a little. Let the tongue rise to the roof of your mouth. Tongue resting on the roof of your mouth is another one of those beautiful calming to the nervous system things. Right? The settling the snow globe. Tongue resting on the roof of your mouth. Eyes open or eyes closed. Eyes half open. You get to try all these little things on so that you reconnect with your own sense of being present in this moment and feeling like yourself. Okay, so begin. Inhale nice and deep. You hear that sound in the back of your throat? It's the sound of you coming back to yourself. Pull your collarbones wide apart, feeling as if they're being drawn from side to side, creating a really straight line across those two collarbones that feels like one long straight line. You'll feel this even if you're lying down on the ground. And as you exhale, again, hearing that sound in the back of your throat as you lightly drop your chin, settling your head back onto your neck by dropping your chin a little bit. And empty your belly of breath. Inhale. Collarbones wide. Let your chin drop a little bit. You can really feel your neck bones, your cervical spine start to lengthen a little, like a little bit of a bouncing slinky. And exhale. Chin drops a little towards your throat. You might even bring your head backwards a little bit so you can feel as if you're resting your head right on top of your spine rather than thrusting your chin forward. Deflating your belly, and let your lower back drop, or if you're sitting, your tailbone drops down. And then tuck it up a little towards your belly. Your chest lifts. Inhale. Collarbones wide. Chin down. Exhale. So after about the third breath, you might feel a little bit like you're swooning a little bit. Enjoy this feeling. Let your arms feel limp. Inhale. Collarbones wide. Chin down. And exhale. Deflate your belly. Hearing the sound, focusing on the sound you make at the back of your throat. That beautiful filled ha sound. Inhale. You feel your thoracic cavity, your rib cage filling up and expanding. Keep your collarbones wide so your shoulders stay away from your ears. Chin dropped and exhale. Chin dropped again. tongue resting on the roof of your mouth, letting your belly deflate, letting your tailbone drop down, and then tuck it up as if you're undulating your tailbone up towards your belly. You can feel this rise in your chest, slight and yet really soothing. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And now, just for a moment, let's check in again on that emotional scale of 1 to 10. Where were you when you started this practice? Where when you arrived here? And what number might you give yourself now? Notice it's only been a matter of minutes. We've been together now for about 20 minutes, doing this practice of re-arriving as yourself. And notice how much more like yourself you feel right now. It's magic, right? And yet you have this magic inside of you. You don't need to be hit with a magic wand. You don't need to find the answers from a genie. It's inside of you. You just want to take the time to remember that. So as you feel this feeling right now, we're going to move into some yoga asana, some yoga poses, because it's really beautiful to take this soothed person and move this body from a place of soothing. Now, if you have other kinds of exercise practices that are a little bit harder on the body, that tend to push you into places that feel like a strain or an effort, if you enjoy those practices, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to give them up. You don't have to give anything up. But I would like you to experience what it feels like to move this body from a place of being soothed and comforted and feeling like this blissful warrior. Remember, you're not going to be a warrior about pushing through any poses. And as a matter of fact, I'd like to remind you that if we do any poses, I give any instructions that feel painful to you, please back down. You are not here to find the gain in pain. It's not there. You are here to find yourself in soothing. So as I guide you through these beautiful yoga movements, these asanas, find your place of feeling soothed, and you will. So let's lie down today. If you are sitting on a cushion, go ahead and push that cushion out from under you. If you are sitting on a chair, bring yourself down to the ground. If you are already lying on the ground, well then here you are. And we're going to lie down on our backs. Take a moment to check my view in the camera. I think we're good, and here we are, lying on your back in a pose called Shavasana, actually called corpse pose. Heels lightly touching, toes are flopped apart, knees are flopped apart, even your hips feel like they're sort of melting down to the sides. Arms are at your sides, far from your body, with your palms facing up, fingers curl naturally. Tuck in your chin. Keep your eyes open so that you can look not at the ceiling, but continue to check that you're looking down the midline of your body. So you keep your head really right on top of your neck in this way. Oftentimes, if you're looking at the ceiling, you've got a little kink in the neck. And here we're going to unwind that kink. Let's take a few breaths here. Inhale, balloon your belly out. Exhale, deflate the balloon. Check on your collarbones pulled wide and drop your lower back to the ground. Inhale, balloon the belly out. Hear the breath come into the back of your throat. as if there's a hand waiting to hold you at the small of your back. Stay empty here for a moment. Feel how soothing this is. Inhale, balloon your belly out. And exhale, deflate. Tuck your chin. Focus your eyes. Collarbones wide. Drop your lower back. Now starting from this beautiful place of feeling totally soothed and light and satisfied and contented. There are so many words that come to mind. Find the one that seems to describe how you feel right now. And let's explore how it feels to move this body from a place of this soothing acceptance. Inhale, bend your right knee. Place the sole of your right foot on the ground beside your left knee. And then take a moment to walk your foot in. So walking your heel in close to your butt. And as you replace the sole on the ground with your heel close to your butt, feel this stretch across the top of your thigh. As you exhale, drop your lower back. Inhale, bring your arms in close to your body. Pull with all 10 fingertips towards the wall in front of you. Bend your right knee to your chest. Bend your elbow tips. Reach out and clasp all 10 fingers all the way to the webbing 2 inches below the right knee. Relax your elbow tips into your waist and down towards your hips. And as you inhale, pull the collarbones wide. Tuck your chin towards your right knee, and as you exhale, guide your right knee towards your right armpit. Feeling this stretch. You might feel it in your groin, in your hips, on top of your thighs, tucking your chin, just relaxing into this beautiful stretch. It's all about freedom and opening and flexibility and soothing. As you inhale, tuck your chin to your throat. As you exhale, pressing all 10 fingers up to the webbing, guiding your right knee towards your right armpit. Now here's a little trick. You want to keep both elbows in your waist, even as you guide your right knee to the side a little bit. So hug your body with your elbows, with your biceps. Pull your elbows towards your hips and guide the right knee to the right armpit, keeping the collarbones wide and the shoulders down. And here, from an anatomical point of view, you're opening your right hip, creating a lot of movement and flexibility in this hip. You are also massaging your digestive system, your ascending colon, and lengthening your spine. And change. And bring the right sole down to the ground beside the left knee, arms at your sides, and slide your right leg out to meet the left for a moment at the heels. Inhale, bend the left knee. Place the sole of the foot on the ground beside the right knee, and then walk your heel up to your butt. So just feeling those little tiny steps that you make on the mat or on the ground. And exhale, drop your lower back. Keep your collarbones wide. Try not to let your shoulders punch in. Just dropping your lower back. And inhale, bring your arms in close. And pull with your fingertips towards the wall in front of you. Keep your palms sort of parallel to each other as you pull. Feel this beautiful drag as you open your shoulders and traps, and then bend your left knee to your chest, bend your elbow tips and clasp all 10 fingers 2 inches below the left knee. Get a nice tight grip all the way to the webbing of all the fingers, including the thumbs. Inhale, tuck your chin. Both elbow tips nestled into your waist, and exhale, begin to apply some pressure to the webbing of those fingers as you guide the left knee towards the left armpit, keeping your chin tucked towards your throat, keeping your collarbones pulled wide apart and your elbows in your waist. Inhale, tuck your chin. Relax your outstretched leg completely. Exhale, guiding that left knee towards the left armpit. feel the incremental opening here of the left hip. Feel this little pinch in the left thigh, left hip. Beautiful pressing down here, and also pressing on the descending colon, giving that digestive system a boost. Press. And change. And relax your arms to your sides. Place the sole of your foot on the ground and then slide the left leg out to meet the right at the heels. Inhale. Balloon your belly out. Exhale. Collarbones wide. Chin dropped. Tongue resting on the roof of your mouth, and let your lower back drop. Inhale. Bring your legs together. Bend both knees and place the soles of both feet on the ground and begin to walk your heels close to your butt. Feel that little stretch that's happening when the heels come in close. Squeeze your legs together. You feel like you're getting some traction in your spine. You are. That beautiful kind of slinky opening of your spine right now feels very satisfying. And satisfying is empowering. Inhale, tuck your chin. Squeeze your legs tight and bring your arms in close again. Palms are parallel as you pull the fingertips towards the wall in front of you, keeping your chin tucked. Rising up on your toes, draw your knees to your chest, bend your elbow tips and wrap your arms around your knees. And grab what you can, wrists, forearms, elbow tips, above the elbow tips. Right? Whatever feels soothing right now. Inhale, tuck your chin. Collarbones wide. Arms are squeezing the legs together, keeping those two legs as one unit. And as you exhale, pressing with the arms, guide the knees to the chest. And now, see if you can push the knees into the arms from the side. So the outsides of the knees are pushing outward into the arms as the arms squeeze the legs together. Now, if you're just holding at the fingertips or wrists, you can still do this. Inhale, tuck your chin, squeeze your legs tight, relax your feet. As you exhale, draw the knees into your chest, keeping the knees coming to the chest as you push the knees outward from either side into the arms. And feel your back, especially your lower back, lengthening across the floor. You're able to tuck your chin more and get that traction in your upper spine. All of this feels both curiously soothing and empowering at the same time. And change. Relax your arms to your sides. Palms facing up. Keep your knees to your chest. Feel that rush in your arms again. Relax your feet and inhale. And as you exhale, settle the soles of your feet to the ground. Turn your palms over so your palms touch the ground, and slide your arms under your body with your hips on your wrists. And maybe you can walk your feet, your heels, close enough that you can reach and grab your ankles or grab your heels from behind with your hands. Just stay here for a moment. Inhale. And as you exhale, begin to squeeze your shoulder blades together under your body. So you feel your chest lift up a little bit. And then pull your knees towards the wall in front of you, tightening your thighs and gently lifting your hips. Keep holding your heels if you can, and tuck your chin. And feel the lightness in this lift as you exhale, lower down, hips coming down. So your hips are sort of gently resting on the ground. And then inhale, tighten your thighs, point your knees forward, holding your heels tight if you can. Pull your knees towards the walls in front of you. Tuck your chin, looking down the middle of your body. Exhale, lower down, hips to the ground. You feel every vertebra coming down. Hips are last. And inhale, point your knees forward, tighten your thighs. As you pull the knees towards the front wall, the hips lift. Tuck your chin. Exhale. And slowly, gently begin to lower down one vertebra at a time. When your hips are all the way down, bring your arms out from under you, palms facing up, and squeeze your legs together, settling the soles on the ground. And exhale again, drop your lower back. Inhale, turn your palms to the ground again. Slide your arms under your body with your hips on your wrists. As you exhale, squeezing your legs tight, draw both knees to your chest. Tucking your chin towards your knees, keeping your shoulder blades pulling long, the collarbones pulling long side to side. And exhaling. Inhale, begin to flex your heels towards the wall in front of you, toes towards your face. Squeeze your legs together. Tuck your chin. Draw your collarbones under you, or your shoulder blades under you. Collarbones under you would be interesting. And as you exhale, flexing from the heels, slowly raise the soles of your feet to the ceiling. Now keep it slow, and keep your legs squeezed together in one unit. Watching your feet come up, feel as if the soles of your feet are holding the ceiling up. Remember, your arms are under your body with your palms facing down. And when the soles of your feet are parallel to the ceiling, maybe your legs are straight and maybe the knees are bent. Just noticing, not forcing anything. See if you can rotate your kneecaps inward a little bit as you flex the heels, flex the toes. Inhale, collarbones wide. As you exhale, pull from your heels and lower your legs slowly, feeling as if there is a pulley rope from the from the ceiling, holding your ankles and lowering your legs. And as that rope lowers your legs, you're pulling from your heels, keeping your knees rotated in, keeping the toes flexed towards your face, keeping your stomach sucked in, collarbones pulled wide, chin tucked towards your throat, feeling this beautiful float. Inhale, pull from your heels, flex the toes towards your face, exhale, slowly lowering down. So this was a beautiful inversion pose, really giving your legs, all the blood vessels in your legs, a chance to drain and relax. And finally, when your heels touch, lift your hips lightly, roll your arms out, take a moment in Shavasana, and notice how you feel. Feeling the blood flow come back into your arms, let your fingers curl, heels touching and toes flopped apart, chin tucked, collarbones wide. Inhale, balloon your belly out. Exhale and deflate. Now inhale, bend both knees. Place the soles of your feet to the ground and squeeze your legs together. And bring your hands together in prayer position in front of your chest with your elbow tips tucked into your waist and pulling down towards your hips. Tuck your chin. And exhale. Just stay here for a moment with your palms pressed and your legs squeezed together and drop your lower back. Inhale. Bring your knees to your chest. Keeping your elbows in your waist, your chin tucked into your throat. And as you exhale, slowly roll your body to the right. Coming all the way over onto your right side, take your prayer hands, making a little pillow and bringing it up under your cheek, and even higher under the side of your forehead. Let your left elbow get drawn all the way to the ground. Bring your knees all the way up to your elbow tips and tuck your chin into your throat, like a little turtle head going back into the shell. And breathe right here. Relax your feet. Inhale. And exhale. see if you can tuck your chin more and relax that elbow tip to the ground more. Relax your feet. Feel your middle back puff out. Inhale. Exhale. And now, taking the head out of the shell, turtle head comes back out. Place your palms on the ground. Look at the backs of your hands and push yourself up into a little serpentine kind of movement into a seated position for a moment. And now let's lie down on the belly. Let's do some back strengthening. Hello, Kathy and Vicky. Oh my gosh, so lovely to see you both. Come join us for the back strengthening series, lying on your belly. Chin on the mat. Hands are flat, fingertips directly under your shoulders. Begin to pull your elbows towards your hips. Can you feel this beautiful lengthening in your arms from your shoulders to your elbow tips? Zip your legs together. You're going to make one strong cobra tail out of the two legs. And as you exhale, begin to peel yourself off the ground. Chin, neck, chest, ribs, elbow tips pulling towards your hips. Your eyes are looking for the ceiling, maybe even searching for the wall behind you. Now notice this isn't a push-up. Your arms aren't straight. They're like little cricket wings, bent at the elbows, pulling towards your hips. You can even lift your hands to really know that you're using your lower back strengthening here to get yourself lifted. And then place your hands back down and begin to slowly lower down. Chin. When the chin touches, turn your head to the right. Place your left ear flat. Let your arms come to your sides with your palms facing up. Your elbow tips are bent. Your big toes touch inward and your heels wide apart. You're in Shavasana. Inhale. Exhale. Savasana, locust pose. This is going to be for your middle back, chin on the mat. Turn your palms to the floor and bring your arms under your body, placing your hips on your wrists. Squeeze your collarbones, your shoulder blades together behind you, your collarbones nice and wide, seeing if you can get your shoulders on the mat. As you inhale, relax your left leg. Let the left heel fall to the left. Point your right toes, lock and lengthen your right leg, and as you exhale, lift your right leg without unlocking it. Keep your right hip bone pressed to your right forearm. As you point your toes, lock your leg and lift. Lift and lift and change. Let the right leg relax. Begin to point your left toes. As you inhale, pull from the left toes, locking the left leg. As you exhale, lift the left leg up. Roll your body to the left so your hip bone stays connected to your forearm. No bend in the left knee. Lift and change. Slowly lower the left leg down. Now we're going to try a double leg lift. If this is your first time, you might just want to watch. You cannot lift your head to look at the screen while we're doing this pose together. So if you'd like to listen to the instructions and try the pose, great. If you'd like to listen and watch the pose and not do it, great. First, get your arms more together. Match up the blades of your pinky fingers under your body. And now put your lips to the ground. As you inhale, zip your legs tight. Zipping them so tight that your kneecaps pop up off the ground and you can rotate them in a little bit. Now as you exhale, lift both legs. And change. Lower slowly. And when your legs come down, lift your hips, roll your arms out, and turn the opposite way. Facing the left with your right ear flat. Elbows bent, big toes touch, heels wide open. Inhale. And exhale. Now, Purna Salabhasana. This is the airplane pose. This, my friends, might be the closest you get to flying without an airplane. So put your chin on the mat and bring your arms out to the sides. Make a big strong airplane wing T. From fingertips to fingertips you're pulling. Bring your legs together and point your toes. Lock your thighs down. Lock the tops of your feet down. Your kneecaps pop up, rotate them in. Make a big strong airplane tail behind you, a big rudder. So pull for a moment from the tips of your toes down, tips of your fingers across. Inhaling your breath. Now as you exhale, lift off. Chin, neck, chest, arms, hands, legs. Keep pulling from your toes and fingers as everything lifts. Chin up, eyes up. Inhale, just hovering midair. Pulling harder from the toes, from the fingertips, lengthening. Now as you exhale, fly a little higher. Going for altitude by lifting your hands higher than your head. Lift your toes, lift, and change. Coming in for a nice landing, let your chin land. And then bring your wings back in, turning your head facing the right. Big toes are touching, heels wide open. Bend your elbow tips a lot. Let your arms relax. Inhale. Exhale. And Dhanurasana, floor bow. So in this sequence, we work the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, and now we're going to work the entire back. Really pulling it all together here. So chin on the mat. Bring your legs together. Bring your arms behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades, lengthen your arms, pull from the fingertips, but really squeeze those shoulder blades together, and then bend your knees up, and your feet should be right there as you reach back with these nice long arms. Hold right on the tops of your feet, right where your toes meet your feet. Squeeze your shoulder blades together again as you inhale. Point your toes, lock your thighs. As you exhale, kick. Get your thighs off the mat as you point your toes and kick up towards the ceiling with your toes. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades together. Keep your hips and your knees parallel, everything in line and balance. Inhale. Exhale, kick. Feel like you're kicking your toes through the ceiling and your shins through the back wall. Lift and change. Settling down, chin first. And then release your legs. Bring your arms back to your sides, palms face up, and lay your head down. With your right ear flat, facing left. Allow your shoulders to slump. Feel as if someone has their hands on your shoulder blades, and every time you exhale, they're going to press. So inhale. And exhale. Feel those hands pressing on your shoulder blades, feeling your breastbone come closer to the mat. Beautiful. Now we're going to change. So, place your fingertips on the ground. Make it your fingertips and not your palms. Make the little cricket wings out of your arms again with your elbows pulling towards your hips. Chin on the mat. Bring your legs together. And using just your fingertips, pushing yourself up into all fours. And notice how light and easy this feels. Now settle into all fours, a real good tabletop position. So you'll have your palms are on the ground, your wrists directly under your shoulders, your knees are lined up behind your wrists, and both your wrists and your knees are 6 inches apart, and you're in a real good tabletop position. So, looking at a spot on the wall in front of you, just allow your head to drop for a moment. Stay in tabletop position. Your wrists should be directly under your shoulders. With your head dropped, rotate your elbows inward. Feel as if the inner parts of your elbows are parallel to each other. And now inhale, begin to lift your chin, neck, face, looking at the wall in front of you. Drop your belly to the ground and stretch your tailbone to the ceiling. Now keep your face forward, don't look at the ceiling. Let's keep the head on the neck. Focus all of the stretch on the tailbone towards the ceiling, almost as if it's going to touch the back of your head. And exhale, drop your head, nestle your chin into that little hollow space between the collarbones, like the turtle head, coming into the shell as you round your middle back, making that turtle shell. Lock your arms, rotate them in, and inhale. Keep your arms locked at the elbows. Elbows rotated in as you lift your chin, neck, face, chest. Let your belly sink to the ground as you stretch your tailbone to the ceiling. Now there's a strong tendency here to bend the elbows, but keep your arms locked instead. Exhale. Drop your chin, wedge it between your collarbones like that turtle head coming into the shell as you round the shell, your middle back to the ceiling, locking your elbows. Hold here for a moment and inhale. Slowly begin to lift your chin, neck, face, looking at a spot on the wall in front of you, breastbone. See if you can lead your breastbone a little forward between your shoulders as you drop your belly. Stretch your tailbone. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale. Tuck the turtle head back into the shell. Right there between the collarbones. Round your middle back. Suck your stomach in. Imagine the middle back touching the ceiling now. Touch the ceiling, touch the ceiling. And then inhale. Bring yourself back to tabletop position. It's a beautiful flexing of your spine. And in flexing your spine, you're again soothing your nervous system. Child's pose, knees together, heels together. Settle back, hips to heels. Place the fingertips on the ground beside your knees. Get your elbow tips pulling towards your hips. Bend your elbows. Look at that spot on the wall as you lower yourself down so lightly until your forehead touches. Then relax your arms at your sides, palms facing up, elbows bent, and breathe. Let your shoulders slump. Inhale. Inhale, fingertips on the ground, beside your knees, elbow tips pulling towards your hips, little cricket wing arms, and then very slowly, very lightly, keeping your head hanging, lift yourself back up. Notice how easy this is, how light your body feels. Settle for a moment, hips on heels, head up last, palms in your lap, facing up, thumbs touch. Elbows pulling down. Let your chin drop. Bring your head back. Collarbones wide. Inhale. Exhale. Seated warrior pose. So I'm going to roll a little bit forward here. You can stay right where you are. You're already sitting hips to heels. Placing your fingertips on the ground, separate your heels enough that your hips can settle on the ground between your heels. Now, if your hips aren't on the ground today, that's perfectly fine. Remember, you are where you are, and wherever that is perfectly fine. So for you, placing your fingertips on the ground, lock your arms, raise your hips a little bit so your bicep muscles are holding you, and just do this lovely little hula dance with your hips, looking at the wall in front of you. No pressure on the hips or knees. Your biceps are holding your body. If your hips are on the ground, there's something else that you can do. So hips are settled on the ground between your heels. Place your right palm on your right sole, left palm on your left sole. Begin to squeeze your shoulder blades together, collarbones wide. Inhale, lift your chest, and exhale, hang your head. Allow yourself to drop into one elbow tip at a time. Keep it slow. Let your head hang. One elbow tip at a time. If and when the top of your head touches the mat, it should be very light, no pressure. And immediately roll to the back of your head. Lie down on your back and bring your arms up overhead and grab opposite elbow tips. Now at any point along the way in this pose, you could have simply stopped and held there. Remember, there's no gain in pain. This is soothing yourself back into health and well-being and feeling like yourself. If you're all the way down and holding at the elbow tips, you might even try walking your knees together. You're going to feel a great stretch on the tops of your thighs. That's what I feel right now. And inhale, balloon your belly out. And as you exhale, tuck your chin, drop your lower back. Now, if you're all the way down, unwinding the pose. Bring your elbow tips to the ground beside you. Hands on your shins, actually, is a good place. Let's just squeeze the elbow tips together. As you lift your chest, hanging your head, placing your palms again, coming up slowly. Head up last. Beautiful. And let's lie down in Shavasana, so lying on your back. Legs out, arms at your sides, palms up. Allow your heels to touch lightly, toes flopped apart, collarbones wide, chin down. And inhale, hear it in the back of your throat, just like when we started class, balloon your belly out. And exhale, and deflate the balloon, and drop your lower back. Tucking your chin, making sure you're not looking at your ceiling, you're looking down the middle of your body. Drop the lower back into that imaginary hand. And inhale, balloon your belly out. And exhale, deflate. All right, I feel inspired to do one more asana here, even though this could be the final Shavasana of the class. Let's do one more. If you're up for it, bring your arms out to the sides. T position, palms facing down. Inch your fingertips across the ground. Feel your collarbones pull wide apart, and then let them rest on the ground, shoulder blades on the ground. And exhale, drop your lower back. And inhale, bring your legs together. Bend both knees, place the soles of your feet to the ground, inch your heels up close to your butt. Feel the traction in your spine. You can feel it now everywhere, this beautiful traction. Across your shoulder blades, down your spine, tuck your chin and squeeze your legs together nice and tight. Keep your chin tucked towards your throat. As you inhale again, squeeze the legs together. Bring your knees to your chest. Chin towards your knees. And as you exhale, drop both knees under the right armpit. So falling to the right and up under the armpit. Keep your head level. Keep your fingertips inching out. And just let your knees stop wherever they stop and let gravity take over. Maybe your knees will touch down, maybe they won't. As you inhale, pull the collarbones wide apart. See if you can get that left shoulder blade to touch the mat. And as you exhale, squeeze the legs together and bring them back to center. When they're at center, squeeze the legs tight, draw the knees in close, tuck the chin towards the knees. Exhale, squeezing the legs tight, drop both knees down to the left and up under the left armpit. Trying to keep both shoulder blades on the mat by pulling the collarbones wide. And again, maybe the knees touch down, maybe they don't. There's no goal here. It's just soothing, opening, enjoyment. Inhale, squeeze your legs together. Bring them back to center. When they're at center, take a moment to squeeze them tight. Draw them in close, chin towards your knees, and as you exhale, dropping both knees again, down to the right, up under the right armpit. And when they're as far as they're going to go, slide your head a little to the right, tuck your chin towards your throat, and lie down on your left ear. So just let your head drop to the left, thinking about getting your left ear on the mat. Don't push. Don't force, don't effort, just drop. Just lie here in this beautiful elongated S curve for your spine, from your cervical spine all the way down. And then inhale, squeeze the legs together and bring them back to center. Bring your head back to center. When you're at center, squeeze the legs tight, draw them in close, tuck your chin towards your knees. And as you exhale, keeping the legs squeezed into one unit, drop both knees down to the left, up under the left armpit. When the knees are as far as they're going to drop, let gravity take over. Slide your head to the left, tuck your chin down, and drop onto your right ear. Inhale. Feel your whole chest fill up as you exhale. Oh, I hear so many clicks in my spine. It's so wonderful. And inhale, knees to center, head to center. As you exhale, bring your arms in. Pull your fingertips towards the wall in front of you. Palms are parallel to each other. And then bend the elbows and wrap around the knees again. Maybe you're grabbing in a different place now. Maybe you're not. Doesn't matter. There's no judgment here. It's just noticing. Inhale. Tuck your chin. Use your arms to squeeze your legs together tight as you exhale. Use your arms or whatever's holding onto your knees to bring the knees close to the chest, chin to the throat, and see if you can imagine pulling your knees apart. But you're never going to let yourself pull your knees apart because you're squeezing them together with your arms. You're just using this extra little pull of the knees apart to flatten your spine. You'll notice how much more you can tuck your chin. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulders are away from your ears. And change. Inhale. Arms at your sides, soles of the feet to the ground. As you exhale, slide your legs out. And now you're in final Shavasana. Heels are lightly touching, toes flopped open, arms are far from your body, fingers are curled. Inhale. Ballooning your belly out, and exhale. Deflating the balloon, dropping your lower back into that hand, and closing your eyes. So stay here in final Shavasana as I bring this class to a close. So lying here and breathing. Inhale, balloon your belly out. And exhale, feel this beautiful deflating of your belly. Notice you're still hearing the breath come in and out through the back of your throat. Inhale. Balloon the belly out. And exhale. And deflate. So notice you can check in right now on your activation scale, 1 to 10, right? 1 being very, very relaxed, soothed, really chill. And 10 being very spun out. So just whatever number comes to mind where you are on that scale right now, just notice it. Don't judge it. Don't question it. Don't try to explain it to yourself. Just notice it. Have this beautiful moment of noticing that you are where you are. This is you in the present moment, feeling your life, being a blissful warrior. Take a deep breath. And as you lie here in this final Shavasana, which is a beautiful, resting and rejuvenating pose, I really like to point out that so many of the poses that we do, so much of what we do here in this Blissful Warrior practice, seems paradoxical, that it can be two opposite things at the same time, restful and rejuvenating, and yet that's how it is. So as you lie here breathing, I'm going to read to you from my book called The Blissful Warrior, which this practice is named for. So this is my story of my Blissful Warrior practices that I used during a very challenging time in my life, and maybe you are going through some challenges right now. My goodness, you'd really have to be quite disconnected from events and conditions around you to not have some challenging feelings during most days. So if those are coming up for you right now, you are where you are. And notice how easily in the hour that we've been together, that you've been able to soothe yourself into a place where you can think clearer, act clearer, be more yourself, even though nothing outside of you has changed. Conditions around you still are what they are, and yet you are in a different place of reacting to those conditions. So let's do a little reading from the Blissful Warrior. We are reading the book sequentially, but if you haven't been here before, I promise you whatever page I open to today is going to be the one that you needed to hear right now. So lie still, breathe deep, and listen. You do not choose your child's life. You choose to love your child. Appreciate your child's freedom to make his or her own choices. Tell your child that the only person they have to please is themselves. Whenever you see wrong choices, know that you are measuring their life from your vantage point, based upon your experiences. Your choice has nothing to do with their inner guidance. You cannot judge the trajectory of anyone else's heart. Let them find their own clarity. Show your children that you choose to follow your own heart. Be unconditional about your happiness. Be an example of happiness. Choose relief. Choose self-love. Your children watch how you live. Be self-soothing. When you're tired, rest. When you're hungry, eat. When you're angry, take time to breathe. Your children don't want you to sacrifice your life for theirs. They want you full of life. Choose your life. If you are not a parent, you can substitute the word children for just about any other person in your life, including people you don't know, people who might have a different way of doing things or reacting to things than you do. We are here for the diversity. It's a strange paradox that we are, in some ways, fighting for diversity by asking other people to do things and see things the way we do. That's not diversity. Diversity is being unconditional and knowing that everybody is choosing their own contribution to this very confusing time, and trusting that everybody is making their contribution and that everyone's contribution is valuable, even if it looks very different from yours or very different from the way you might want them to act. Just sit with that for a moment. Thank you for joining me today for this Blissful Warrior practice. I'm Rhonda Uretsky from Riverflow Yoga, and I will be here teaching Blissful Warrior every day, or sharing, I should say. Sharing, I'm doing this practice with you. At 12:30 every weekday. I also teach hot yoga here on this virtual site every Saturday morning at 8:30, and you'll find various other beautiful Riverflow Yoga teachers right here on Facebook Live teaching hot yoga, yoga nidra, beautiful practices that we are offering to you. This is our way of making the contribution that feels good to us, and not just for you, but for ourselves in this time of finding our own way and really appreciating the diversity of everyone's contribution and knowing that everyone's presence is a contribution, whether you can see it or not. Thank you again for joining me. I know your time is valuable. Thank you for sharing so much of it with me today, and I hope to see you again soon. And now I invite you to go into the rest of your day feeling this way, feeling this grounded, satisfied being that you are. And see what choices you make coming from this place. And see if that feels more like the life you'd like to live. Lie here in Shavasana as long as you want. When you're ready, when your inner guidance tells you you're ready to move into the more action part of your day, enjoy it. Thank you again. I'm Rhonda Uretsky from River Flow Yoga. I hope to see you